much trying to diffuse that situation, but that's a minor, tiny story compared to what we saw. Real Madrid 0, Barcelona 4. Big picture, that means Barcelona are now 6 points clear at the top of the table. Remember, goal difference doesn't count in La Liga. It's all about head-to-head. So as it stands, Real Madrid have to go to Montjuic and win 5-0 if they're going to find themselves ahead of Barcelona, if indeed they end the season equal on points.
Wow. I mean, we have obviously watched a lot of both teams. We knew Real Madrid had some defensive weaknesses this season. That's been quite a bright, shining light. If you watched the Celta Vigo game last week, if you watched the Dortmund game, and others. But I think we felt that pace and that experience and that quality up front against this sort of inexperienced makeshift back four, which it is for Barcelona, was just not going to be able to hold. But to see such an experienced, and by the way, Real Madrid were by far the most experienced side, to see this side capitulate in the manner in which it did. Because at half-time, we were sitting here going, Barcelona need to keep the ball. Barcelona need to do this. Barcelona need to do... If Barcelona are going to get back in this game or keep themselves in this game, they need to do X, Y, and Z. Well, they did do those things, and Real Madrid had no answer. Again, I think we've seen the frailties of Dani Carvajal been out, but we also saw the frailties of the back four as a whole and the two centre-backs. Midfield wasn't great either, and that's being kind, and the front line was awful. So, I mean, I don't think we can blame Lunin for any of the goals.
No.
You know, I think if Courtois had been playing, I'm not sure he'd have saved any. He loses 4 goals, but he doesn't do anything wrong. Every other facet of that Real Madrid side, from half-time onwards, was a shambles. And in the contrast, a team that was struggling in the first half made a couple of changes and completely turned it around their fortunes, kept the ball better, defended better, were a bigger threat, continued to catch Kylian Mbappe offside, and got the front three into the game. And that front three came up big time.
I'm going to ask you a question, Ali.
Okay.
And I don't think there's an easy answer.
All right.
Who was the man of the match?
Well, you're right. There isn't an easy answer. And I imagine Lewandowski getting 2 goals would probably garner most of the votes.
That set the tone, wasn't it?
Yes. And the first goal, I think, really created the environment that then made it possible for Barcelona to go on and continue to play the game in the manner in which they did. But Rafinha, I thought, was excellent. Lamine Yamal, I thought in the second half was excellent as well. The combination between the 3 of them, no surprise that these guys are as high as they are in terms of the goal contributions in La Liga. Their combination play and their understanding of each other's movement was excellent. Frenkie de Jong coming onto the field at halftime made a huge difference in terms of the balance and the structure. We've talked about the lack of balance and lack of structure for Real Madrid. Frenkie de Jong being there actually pushed Pedri forward, but alongside Marc Casado, and now they were holding on to the ball in more advanced positions, which then forced Real Madrid to defend and push Real Madrid back. Look, coming into last weekend, the conversation was, in the Spanish media, 100 days, the first 100 days of Hansi Flick. And that this would be sort of, truth be told,
yes.
Where is Barcelona? Are they for real? They destroyed Sevilla, and we kind of go, well, you know, it's Sevilla. They destroyed Bayern Munich, and we kind of go, well, but they could have given up a bunch of goals in the first half. And then destroyed Real Madrid again. Yeah. And we can still go, well, but Real Madrid could have scored some goals in the first half. I think it's time for us to kind of turn the page on. This is a future project for Hansi Flick and Barcelona, and it's actually a now project for Hansi Flick and Barcelona. They have answered every single question, and they exposed. We knew, because we have seen the performances of Real Madrid, and you've addressed it as well, Craig, that there were some, at the very least, hairline fractures here with Real Madrid. Well, Barcelona made this into craters, into the patient is fully hemorrhaging. What we saw Barcelona exploit today and expose today from Real Madrid's perspective is not only their lack of balance or the lack of structure, there was lack of leadership, and then a team that when things started going in the wrong direction, instead of pushing forward, they're looking around. And you don't expect that from Real Madrid, and certainly you don't expect that from Real Madrid at Santiago Bernabeu. They're looking around, and they have no answers. It was a team that lacked a whole lot of soul today against Barcelona in the second half.
Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Valverde, Bellingham, they're all runners, aren't they? I mean, they can pass it, but they can't. They don't play those searching.
No, it's not. There's no
60-yard balls.
Cruise.
It's not just they're not cruise. They're not. They're winners of the ball, most of them. They're neat and tidy passers of the ball. 10, 20 yards. Bellingham's a runner into the box from deep. That's what he is. Valverde the same, and he's a worker. And he's a good striker of the ball. But they're not passers. They're not controllers of games. And he had 4 of them in there. It's a difficult balance for him to find now. You know, he's got so many issues. He's got to figure this Mbappe thing out because he just has to. The big boss upstairs, he's not going to...
You say figure it out. How, though?
I don't know, because
he's playing in the right position. He's getting...
Who?
Mbappe.
Well, but Bellingham's in the wrong position, so that's a start.
Right.
Right, so you've taken away... Put it one way. I think Real Madrid would have been a much bigger threat today with Vinicius and Rodrigo.
Yes.
Than Mbappe.
Yeah.
Because they work better together. And dare say, Rodrigo's a very clever player. Doesn't always get the credit, I think, that he deserves. Kylian Mbappe, it was embarrassing.
But to that point, we have to believe. I mean, we have to believe that Kylian Mbappe knows how to stay onside. You don't get to this
level. What about
level.
Patrick Kluivert's point?
Yeah, well,
when he was at PSG, he played on the left and could see the line.
Right.
He's playing more centrally now.
Hold on a second. I could see the line here.
The Martinez one in the first half, he's on the left, and Martinez is here. Kubasi's stepped up. He's playing his run off Martinez, who's in that position Patrick Kluivert was talking about. I know what he's talking about, but there was opportunities in this game, and we don't want to go back and look at it, because I'm absolutely sick to death now looking at his offsides, because it was so blatantly obvious. But that's not an excuse, is it?
No, absolutely not. He's seen across the line.
Right.
He's seen his point of reference is a defender whose shoulder he's running off. He's seeing Íñigo Martínez here. So, and even if he gives Íñigo Martínez a 5-yard start, he's getting there ahead of him because he has the momentum of running in behind, whereas Íñigo Martínez stepping up. So, Dan, it's very simple. If Íñigo Martínez is going that way and Kylian Mbappe is going this way, who do you think is going to win that race, even if Kylian Mbappe gives him 5 yards? Well, Mbappe. And he's seeing it. And yet he doesn't make an adjustment to it. So I have to imagine that he knows how to stay onside. And so it goes back to something different. That it's not just about staying onside today. It's the pressure of being able to deliver on being Kylian Mbappe at Real Madrid. Of coming in and making a difference and having an impact with a team that was already successful without you. And so that sort of pressure speeds your game up.
Right.
It rushes you. It gives you anxiety. It's difficult. When you think of players having a great game, one of the things that they'll always tell you is everything slowed down for me. Every picture in front of me was slow, and I could see everything. He's not seeing anything right now because he's not even able to see the defender in front of him who's his point of reference. That tells me that it's not a mechanical thing, that it's not he doesn't know how to stay onside. It's more of a mental thing. It's more of like his heart, his soul is pushing him because of the anxiety to try to prove that he is the player that they bought, and he hasn't been that just yet.
Who wins La Liga?
At the moment, Barcelona. Absolutely, and I wouldn't have said that, what are we, 2.5 hours ago. I wouldn't, for their inexperience and all the things we've talked about for days, I would have said Real Madrid will be too good over a longer period, and maybe they will. But the early signs are, and we are still relatively early in the season, is that the only manager that's sitting banging his head in the wall in his manager's office at the moment is not Hansi Flick, it's Carlo Ancelotti, because he's got way more problems than I thought and even he thought he was going to have. But the other thing is like, where was Vinicius Junior's runs? Where was his runs today? You know, we've hammered Mbappe, and I think rightly so for his immaturity. But where was the runs even to find himself in an offside position of Vinicius Junior? And is this what we're seeing from this player? Is that 3 or 4 days ago we're talking about him? Is he the best? Is he the best player in the world? And then today, his head's not screwed on again. He's getting involved with the referees at the end of it. He looks to me as he's over emotional. And when he's in that state of mind, the best Vinicius Junior very rarely turns up. The focused guy is, and one of the things it tells me as well is that I don't think he is completely at ease with this partnership. I don't. I think Mbappe coming in has definitely upset the apple cart. There is no doubt. They'll tell you all these things. But there's no doubt, maybe they got on great in the dressing room, and maybe that's fine, but on the field where it matters, I don't think they're at ease with each other. I think they all want to be the star.
Right.
They all want to be in the headlines.
Takes us back to a Neymar
the
Messi
next day.
World
and I'm starting to see, although we're not seeing it really on the field in terms of arguing with each other, we're seeing a little bit from Bellingham. These two, they know they're being talked about as the best player in the world, both of them. And I think both of them want the biggest piece of the pie, and that's not good for the team.
And Vini Jr. is concerned about whether he's the best player in the world, and with Kylian Mbappe, right? He may not even be the best player in Brazil right now.
Yeah.
Because let me just tell you, whatever you may think of Rafinha, whatever you may think of his talent level and his potential and his ceiling, whether that's higher than Vini's or not, I'm looking at performances, and I'm looking at productivity, and I'm looking at consistency of productivity and performance. And when you put those things together, right now, you're looking at Rafinha and saying, I'll take that guy. I'll take that guy, unless, of course, it's Emre Can chasing him, because at that point, then I'll have Vini Jr. every day.
You're taking the whole Barcelona front three right now.
Oh, without a doubt.
As a threesome.
Yeah.
Individually,
as a collective, 100%.
You're taking this, and if at the start of the season, if we'd offered you, who do you want? We'd all, come on, be honest, we'd all have said, well, I've Rodrigo, Vinicius, and Kylian Mbappe. Thank you very much. Yes. That's who we're going to have. Because Lewandowski...
Real Madrid are going to win a league. It's going to be boring.
Yeah, and at the moment, they are being absolutely smashed by this Barcelona front three.